Eva, it's all over. We must not fall into their hands. He handed his wife a cyanide pill. Take this. We must die with dignity. After Eva Braun took the pill, Hitler put his gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Time warriors!
Years ago, in a small town in Austro-Hungarian Empire, a boy named Adolf Hitler was born. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict man and constantly picked on young Adolf.
Adolf, be orderly! Adolf, do your homework! Adolf, sit up straight!
Alois was a customs officer and expected Adolf to join the civil service, but his son had no interest in this path. Adolf was captivated by art and painting and paid little attention to his schoolwork. At the age of 16, Adolf left the school to pursue his passion. In 1907, he went to Vienna to study at the Academy of Fine Arts. I finally achieved my dreams. I'm sure I'll become a great artist one day. However, despite his efforts, his paintings were rejected twice by the Academy of Fine Arts. The Academy officials believed that Hitler's work lacked the necessary quality. They felt that his paintings lacked creativity and artistic depth. After being rejected by the Academy, Hitler remained in Vienna and tried to make a living by selling his paintings and drawings. However, due to financial difficulties and a lack of a stable job, he lived a hard life. He even had to live in homeless shelters and experienced absolute poverty in his youth. During this time, Hitler was heavily influenced by German nationalism and anti-Semitism. German nationalism. The idea that emphasizes the importance and superiority of the German nation and culture. It aimed to unify all German-speaking people under one government, believing that the German nation had unique qualities that set it apart from other nations. Anti-Semitism. The ideology that saw Jews as the main enemies of the German nation. With these thoughts and a sense of nationalism growing within him, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany in 1913. When the First World War began, he joined the German army. He fought as a volunteer on various fronts and received several medals for his bravery. Finally, in 1919, with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles and the formation of the League of Nations, First World War officially ended. The treaty was signed at the Palace of Versailles between the victorious Allies, including Britain, France, the United States, Italy, and several others, and the defeated Central Powers, including Germany and several others. During the meeting, the Allied representative began to speak. We are gathered here to create a lasting peace for the future of the world. Germany must accept responsibility for the destruction caused by the war and must have its military capabilities limited. The treaty was then placed before the German representative, who had no voting rights and was there only to sign and accept the defeat. Reluctantly, he responded, "We will sign this treaty, but we hope that this will be the beginning of a path to reconstruction and peace." Let us hope that this treaty will lead to lasting peace and that the League of Nations will fulfill its role effectively. The German representative, unable to resist the other representatives, was forced to agree to heavy war reparations, military limitations, no more than 100,000 soldiers, and territorial losses. As a result, Germany faced several economic, social, and political crises after World War I. In the same year, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party. He quickly rose to a high position within the party and a year later the party was renamed the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party. Hitler's oratory skills attracted significant attention, turning the Nazi Party into a major political force in Munich. We must rebuild Germany. The Treaty of Versailles is unjust, and we must fight it. In November 1923, Hitler and the Nazi Party attempt a coup known as the Beer Hall Push in Munich. Comrades, our country's situation is dire. The people are tired of the current conditions, and it's time for us to take power and save Germany. We must act decisively and quickly. Tonight, at the Berger Braukeller Beer Hall in Munich, where many Bavarian leaders are gathered, we will begin our coup. Attention! The National Revolution has begun. The Bavarian government and the Weimar Reich has fallen into our hands. Those who cooperate with us will be spared, and those who resist will be our enemies. Everything seemed to be going well until the Bavarian police and military intervened. The coup failed, and Hitler, along with several associates, was arrested and sentenced to prison. While in prison, Hitler wrote Mein Kampf, in which he outlined his views and ideologies. We will revive the superior race and restore Germany to greatness. After being released from prison in 1924, Hitler began rebuilding the Nazi Party. Through effective propaganda and organization, he turned the Nazi Party into one of Germany's most powerful parties. In the 1932 elections, the Nazi Party won the most seats in parliament, and Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Upon gaining power, Hitler quickly established his dictatorship. Using various techniques such as suppressing opposition and controlling the media, he consolidated all state powers. After the death of the president, Hitler merged the titles of president and chancellor and called himself Führer. Domestically, Hitler implemented strict racial policies. He targeted Jews, Romani people, homosexuals, and other minorities, executing or sending them to concentration camps. These policies led to the Holocaust, during which 6 million Jews were killed. Internationally, Hitler pursued aggressive policies to expand Germany's borders. He first annexed Austria and then took control of Czechoslovakia. In 1939, by invading Poland, he sparked the Second World War. We must bring Europe under control. Do not let anything stand in our way. During World War II, the German army quickly conquered large parts of Europe. However, with the entry of the United States into the war, the balance of power shifted in favor of the Allies. After several defeats on both Eastern and Western fronts, the German army was forced to retreat. In April 1945, with Berlin surrounded by Allied forces, Hitler was furious. He was in his bunker with his wife, Eva Braun. They had only been married for a few hours and now found themselves in this dreadful situation. Hitler pondered over how this path would end. Suddenly, he spoke softly. Eva, it's all over. We must not fall into their hands. He handed his wife a cyanide pill. Take this. We must die with dignity. After Eva Braun took the pill, Hitler put his gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Hitler had ordered that their bodies be burned to prevent them from falling into enemies' hands. Nazi soldiers carried out this order, and when the enemy entered Hitler's bunker, they found only ashes and burned bodies. The end of Hitler marked the end of a regime responsible for the deaths of millions of innocent people and unprecedented destruction worldwide. The collapse of Nazism reminded the world of the horrors that hatred, prejudice, and totalitarianism can lead to. The story of Hitler and the Nazi regime remains a warning for future generations. It is our responsibility to remember this dark period in history to prevent such atrocities from happening again and to uphold human and moral values. History must always remind us never to let such darkness overshadow the world again. Thank you for watching the summary of Adolf Hitler's life. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content. Goodbye until...
In mountain and field, what curses to mankind his fury revealed. No love remained, no vows of grace, no child's laughter, no warm embrace. A mother's heart scorched in paths of sorrow. Fathers left mourning, no hope for tomorrow. He drowned in shadows' embrace. With blood-stained hands his ruin laid waste. In pride's name he forged wrath and disdain. By the sword's edge sold souls to chain. But none who treads in paths of rage finds peace at the end, nor joy on life's stage. Then in silence and defeat's dark hour, a voice